Hi, welcome back. We are on episode 51, and it sounds like we're going to have some really good teachings in this one, right?
Yes, it's actually we call it profound teachings, and this may be we're going to split this presentation in two parts.
Okay.
One will be the teachings, and then we may quickly talk about it,
Okay.
and then we'll continue with another story with Yeshua and Tsipporah.
Oh, sounds good.
Yes. So those teachings,
Only those are the ones we got instead of what we got.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Would have been nice.
Anyway, hopefully there won't be too many Judeo-Christians listening to that episode because they won't be able to stomach it.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. So in the previous episode, we were in Jerusalem, right? And Bethany, also with Martha. And Yeshua visited Barabbas. So now and then they went to Jericho to see Zacchaeus, who had been giving away half of his belongings.
That's right.
And now they are back to around the lake again. So the life around the lakes resumes, for Yeshua and his disciples. I mean, that's the best place he likes. And there is a lot to do. So his return has created enthusiasm and hopes for some people, but also exasperation for others.
Oh.
And it's easy to guess who is exasperated, the Pharisee and the Sadducees.
Yeah. Like, oh, you're back. Yeah.
Yeah. So Yeshua obviously was disturbing. He was at the same time not enough and too much present. Okay. So it was an anomaly for most of the people, in a world where most people have only one goal in mind, which is to sleep. They don't want to think.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. They want somebody else to think for them.
Yes. They go to the synagogue, they do whatever they have been taught, and programmed to do, and nothing else. So his mother, Miriam, had actually suffered during his absence, because there was a lot of bad rumors about her. And since Yeshua was not around, people were just,
being very nice.
No, yes, to say the least, yeah. So Yeshua on his side, can only give without restraint. He's a spectator of the libels and the flatteries at the same time, while remaining conscious, of these very rare moments of love that were born on his path. Yeah. So not many people express the love, yeah. So he's going to be teaching, healing, curing, listening and speaking with simple words to fill up the ever larger voids. He doesn't stop. And what he's thinking and saying, and we are communicating that to our audience, is that the human being ignored everything about himself and was actually poisoning his horizon because he did not like himself. In truth, deep down, people do not like themselves. And that's one of the problems. Yeah. So, for example, on the harbor of Nahum, a discussion started between the merchant who is selling spices, and Yeshua. And that seller was always complaining that he never sold enough. I mean, typical of a seller.
Right. You have a business.
Right,
that's
exactly.
the business. Yeah.
Exactly. So Yeshua asked him, tell me, how much time did you dedicate to your soul today? How much time? And the seller, the merchant responded, oh, I went to the synagogue, Rabbi, this morning. I did my duty.
Robotically, I'm sure.
Yeah, robotically. Yeah. And then Yeshua goes, Zachary, I didn't ask you where and when, but how much. I said how much because it is a word that counts a lot in your life. Right? Being a seller and merchant.
Right.
It's all about how much.
Right.
Yes. How much time did you dedicate to your soul? And Zachariah responded, oh, I don't know, whatever last the reading of the text. And then I prayed at the time when we are supposed to, Rabbi. And Yeshua asked him, is it because your neighbor was watching you that you prayed? And Zacharias puzzled for a moment because Yeshua realized, actually found out what was going on. And he said, oh no, it's because, and then at that point, Yeshua leaves him. There was nothing else to say, nothing to comment, nothing to add,
Right.
That was a case that you could not solve or fix. Yeah. So,
well, they weren't feeling it in the heart. They
No.
were just going through the process.
yes,
of what
exactly.
They need,
because
it's automatic.
It was a custom to go
Thank
to
you,
the synagogue.
custom is the word I was looking for.
To go every day and
Right.
do,
Right.
in the same way that Muslim people pray 5 times a day. I think it's probably more mechanical than anything else, for most people.
Right.
So in the afternoon, Yeshua decides to gather around him the circle of 108 disciples. Those were the most free and aspiring to a deeper and larger teachings. In truth, this kind of planned gathering was very rare. So we're going to get into the teaching and what is basically saying those 108 people. And so since his return from Jerusalem, Yeshua is perceiving inside him, like an hourglass, which is doing a countdown of weeks and months. And he's pushing Yeshua to teach with more intensity than before in the heart of the women and the men who were the closest to him, So there is this, really countdown that he feels, like his life is limited to a certain amount of time now.
Oh, yeah,
And he feels like, okay, he has his mission to complete, and there is still so much to teach. So he's telling them, there are 3 levels of teachings. The first one is called the revealed, that could be understood by pretty much everybody. Okay. The second one is what he calls the buried, which is destined to the close disciples. So you have to be some kind of initiated almost to understand what's going on.
Okay.
And the third level of teaching is what he calls the walia. And this is something that Yeshua is trying to distill to the best of his disciples. So in this case, with the walia, the words are chosen by the Christic energy which lives inside him. And the silence between the words are extremely important as well. So not only do you speak, but you also leave enough silence for the knowledge to penetrate inside you.
Right.
Yeah, it's very important. So the walia was a marvelous bud of the consciousness, prefiguring actually the future human being. It was a sense, like hearing sense or anything else, that did not grow inside, but actually above a being who starts to become an adult.
Oh.
In the sense of Yeshua, of course. Yeah.
Right.
And the Greeks call it the nous, N-O-U-S, which in fact is the supramental, but also the 8th chakra.
Okay.
So that chakra and that knowledge is, of course, located above your head, okay? So Simon, one of his disciples, asked him.
Is it kind of like the higher self?
Yeah, it could
Kind
be.
of, a little bit,
Could
okay.
be. I mean, the Greek calls it the supramental, yeah? So Simon asked Yeshua, some are saying that you went to Greece. Is it true, Master? And Yeshua responded, no, it is not exact, Simon. Some are spreading that because I worked with Greek masters when I was in Egypt. Their wisdom was great. I knew about their secrets, but under a different name. So Yeshua knew all these secrets, from India and from Tibet.
Right.
But of course, the vocabulary was different. It is very important to reach the walia because it allows you to go over the confusion of the words. Okay, so
Right.
that third level of knowledge, of teaching, allows you to go beyond the traditional sense of the words.
Right.
Yeah. And Simon goes, do you mean that words are treacherous and that only the walia can unveil their real soul? And Yeshua responds, I want to say, Simon, that the walia merges the power of the heart and the comprehension of the mental.
Okay. Heart-mind connection.
Yes, exactly. It creates a way to penetrate truth, which is similar to a code that you have to learn to decipher. So at that point,
Those are really deep teachings.
yes, at that point, Judah, steps into the conversation and goes, But Rabbi, can you tell us how to learn and penetrate the secrets of that code? And I would say that that comment from Judah is irritating a little bit Yeshua, because he goes, and what do you think I am doing? It has been 4 years that I have been among you, and then I'm spilling out one by one all the pearls that are comprising the necklace that you still seem to look for. And Judas realized that he made a little bit of a mistake, and he said, but I just want to learn. And Yeshua goes, so stop playing. You are worth much more than that. To learn is not to take. Shut down your head and observe the beatings of what you think is your heart.
I like those words.
And then he continues, love, love, and love again. And do not try to control what you think is just to live. So at that point, Peter, the fisherman, is stepping in, and he said, oh, Rabbi, we have so many questions, and perhaps these are the ones that are preventing us from living. And Yeshua responds to Peter, to ask and wonder is legitimate and necessary, Peter. I did not say that you just have to graze the grass in the fields while watching the course of the sun in the sky to get close to the eternal. You know, it takes more than that.
Right.
The walia is like a feeling, a certitude, a sacred and intimate let go. And I know that sometimes you go into that state without recognizing it. And Peter says, is that true? You believe this of me? And Yeshua said, no, I don't believe it. With the walia, you never believe. You see and hear because you have become the eye and the ear. So it's way beyond the belief.
Yeah.
It's an understanding that comes to you, and you realize it is absolute truth.
Right. Right.
Yeah. Listen to me, Peter, and all of you around who have come here. The man of this world has removed from the sky the sublime truth of its stars. The man learned how to build temples and synagogues, and now he does not know what to believe or not. Without feeling anything for life, you know. And so at that point, Judas reacts very brutally. And he goes, are you against the religion, Master? The traditions and the faith revealed to the prophet, are they nothing for you? So Judas, you know, being an intellectual and being a...
By the book, probably, right?
Exactly,
Everything.
exactly. Oh, I'm glad you say that. Yeah, and Yeshua responds, you know, the religion has nothing to do with the divine. So the religion has nothing to do with the divine. These are his words.
Right. Yeah.
It has everything to do with men. Therefore, as long as the humans are immature, the religion will be like them. And if one day humans are progressing, the religions will disappear.
Right. They'll just drop away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The men will no longer need it or need them, since they will discover the spirit in themselves, by themselves, and through a direct experience. So Yeshua at this point realized how his words have disturbed deeply most of the disciples. And I think those words would be disturbing, you know, a lot of people today,
definitely.
right?
Definitely.
Yeah, but that was exactly what he wanted. And he
Shake them up.
Yeah, he continues. This is why, my friends, never say, the Master said. Never say, the Master said. Right, like we have in the Bible, right?
Right.
In truth, I do not want to be the builder of your faith.
Right.
In truth, I do not want to be the builder of your faith. The master of your destiny, it is you.
That's right.
I am simply the example of what you will be revealing and then become. Live your life and do not freeze anything in my name.
Do not what?
Do not freeze.
Freeze anything.
Yeah.
Oh, like
You know.
this is
Right.
the truth and it's written down and
Yes,
that's it. Okay.
exactly. So also help others to live their life. by being the role model of the freedom to love that you have discovered and explored. So at that point, Judah cannot take anymore. He says, "Isn't any law, precepts that we can transmit in your name, Rabbi?" And Yeshua responds, "There is only one law that is pervading the entire universe, Judah's. It is the one asking us to love. That is all."
Yeah, that's it.
Just one law.
It's very simple, but hard to get there for some.
Right. And Judas is not happy with that answer, and he
It
continues.
has to be harder. That's what they're thinking.
Exactly.
It can't be that easy.
Exactly.
Right.
And he goes to, "But still, isn't it true that a large number of men do not believe like they should?" And Yeshua says, "I like your soul, Judah, but sometimes you simply recite the lessons of the Pharisees and Zealots, who are clamoring, 'Cursed be those who do not believe in the eternal and its laws, or who believe in them in a false way, because they will be punished.'" Okay, so this is the Torah, right?
Right.
It's the traditional religion. And Yeshua continues, "Have these words any meaning? The fear of Awun, the fear of God, is the worst aberration.
Yeah, so true.
Is there a single man that can pretend to express God in his name and in the same sentence declare threats upon humans?" When you think about it, right?
Yeah, it's doesn't make any sense.
And so Judah at that point is out of himself, "You are erasing it all, Master. You're truly scaring me. Tell us again. We are hungry and thirsty. You speaking of Adonai, like the priests at the synagogue. Why? Yes, why?" And so at that point, Yeshua is going to mark a long pause, measuring what he's going to say. "Adonai, you mean to say Yahweh?" "Yes, I dare pronounce his name. Know one thing. Yahweh is not Awun. Yahweh is
I
not
knew that
God.
all along.
He is not my father." So everybody is deeply surprised, And I want to make a parenthesis here to say that only the very high priest in the Sanhedrin were allowed to pronounce the name of Yahweh.
The one who should not be named. I don't think his name should be named anyway.
Exactly, yeah. So other people, other priests, other Pharisees, other Sadducees, were using the term of Adonai, which means the Lord's.
The Lord.
Plural.
Oh, wow.
The Lord's plural. And we're going to understand why.
Okay.
So only the very top level, maybe a handful of people could pronounce the name of Yahweh.
Please don't pronounce it.
Yeah. And Judas continues, "But Moses, what do you say of him?" And Yeshua responds, "Moses did what he had to do. He built what needed to be built and traced a path for those who had lost it." Okay, so again, it's a metaphorical way, yeah?
Yeah.
Maybe they were not lost in the deserts, but they were lost in their comprehension.
Yeah.
Right. And then Yeshua continues, "But his story, his true story, is not the one that has been taught to you in the scriptures. It is multiple and not unique. And I will not tell you more without troubling you deeply." As you can see, we should not unroll all the scrolls of knowledge at the same time. It would be like mingling all the fishermen's nets on the lake together. Yeah. And at that point, Andrew is totally livid, he's out of himself. And he goes, "Are you going against Moses?" And Yeshua responds, "I'm not going against anybody, but simply widening the debate without breaking anything."
Right.
And Andrew continues, "Like Judah, you're frightening me, Rabbi. It is my whole soul which is trembling, It's been shattered.
Their foundation is being ripped out from under them. Yeah.
Are you denying your people and everything it has created?" And Yeshua responds, "The people among which I was born, Andrew, is beautiful. It is a beautiful and great people, but he has been taken prisoner. It is being held hostage. And Andrew asks, by whom? And Yeshua responds, by Yahweh. The one that is also called Yalda Bahoth, who is acting with the presence of Anuna. And the Anunas are the archons.
Oh.
Yes.
Yeah, that makes sense.
He's the one, and Yeshua again says, he's the one who puts in place and removes the kings of this world. And of course, the presidents, as we know them today, right?
Nothing's changed.
Nothing has changed. The one that is still missing a few petals on his tree of life. And that means that he's incomplete. He pretends to be God, but he's far from being a God because he's incomplete.
Yeah.
So Yalda Bahos, and this is something that we derive from the Gnostic knowledge, is also known as Sabaoth. Is the Lord of the armies. And Anuna is the group of the archons. We talked about those in the Great Plan episode. So Yahweh is the prince of the archons. And the archons are basically the dissident Elohims, the dissident extraterrestrial, or from Shambhala, who decided to leave the fraternity of Shambhala and go their own way and impose upon humankind certain practices, supposedly to speed up our growth.
Right. Gave us a lot of contrast.
Yes.
A lot of contrast. Yeah.
So Yeshua again resumes his teaching. Here is the reason the heart, which beats inside me, prefers to talk to you about Hawun, even if its name shrinks its true reality. Okay? You have to give it a name because we, as human, we have to have a name to understand things, right?
Right.
But we should not even put a name on it. It is that truth that you must integrate, my friends, all the way to your guts. The one that uses all the space in me, the Christic energy, and that is inspiring every one of my words, does not need to be adored. I am telling you, it does not have to be feared either. It's not like Yahweh,
Right.
who has to be revered, adored, and feared.
And feared and
You have to pay a lot of sacrifices to him.
A lot of sacrifice.
Yeah. And so Yeshua continues, whatever path we take, the wind is pushing us to be united with him. Will you understand me if I tell you now that what we call the path to the Spirit is not a goal in itself? It is a fragrance with thousands of nuances. It is a long journey still inside yourself, a pilgrimage that we invent in order to blow up the ceiling of the illusion and the mirage of a God with a human face. When we will all be leaving this world, what was living inside us will follow us and will contribute our reunion with the eternal. This is why I came to remind you of the need to build a life full of light and hope. The Spirit of the Divine is seeking infinitely and passionately humans who want to get back to their state of real human. My words make you uneasy, right? Then it is perfect. You are lost in the middle of the lake, and this lake is turning into a sea, and that sea is turning into an ocean. It is all perfect. What is hiding behind what we call the eternal? What is it? Simply you. You in what you cannot yet conceive or imagine and get close to you. Or even that energy you feel sometimes goes through you. The divine is nothing else than what you are capable of doing with it inside you. And as Yeshua is speaking, a slight breeze comes from the lake, as an accomplice to what he's saying. And Yeshua at that point, the whole audience is very silent and is very conscious that his disciples have been shaken. He knows that they are all clinging to his words and to the fire of his gaze, But then it comes a time when you have to shake skies and grounds in order to devitalize what is slowing down the progress of the world.
Yeah.
And
It's really like today.
Yes.
I
And
really
what is
feel
slowing
like-
down the progress of the world, I have to say, it's the religions. I mean, they bring good stuff, but
Right, they bring community,
yes,
right?
but they
You
also
know.
enslave and slow down the development and the growth of the
Right.
mind and the spirit, yeah.
Because everybody goes outside of themselves to reach God, where really
Right.
it's right here.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So while reading the state of each of his disciples, Yeshua realized that a new cycle was being started in the invisible to open the consciousness of the terrestrial humans. Yes, sometimes, certain words are more powerful than any magic tricks. To affirm that Yahweh was not the Father or the Eternal, but simply the chief of the Archons, those rebellious Elohims from Shambhala, was a massive blow in the comfort of their souls,
That's hard. It's kind of when you find out your government really isn't here to protect you.
Yeah, the Torah was being shattered,
Right.
All their religion, all their beliefs was
Right.
destroyed. At that point, and to bring a feeling of respect, Miriam, the mother of Yeshua, stood up, crossed the assembly, which was still muted, touched Yeshua's feet, and kissed him on the face. And for Yeshua, it was always a sacred happiness when Miriam, his mother, was taking over a role of mother.
Right.
She was becoming a mother again, forgetting for a short instant the role of disciple. So the night has fallen, and most disciples are returning to their homes. And Barthélemy and Philip are preparing a fire for the night, while Miriam, his wife, Yakuba, and Shlomit are catching up and talking. Yeah. And so while watching this little group who is left, Yeshua is wondering how sweet and soft his life would have been to simply be a man among the men,
It'd be so much easier.
Yeah, to live the life of countrymen, to share their feelings, their joys, their sorrows, without having to carry the role of a big brother, a spouse, a father, and a rabbi with so many responsibilities, yeah. It was just a dream, of course, yeah. So a thought came to Yeshua at this point, this dream of worryless normality. Maybe that was the reason why the Ruah, the Creator, had decided to lose itself, to spread and to merge in the universe with its successive creations.
Right.
Yeah. It was a simplistic vision, but very pleasant. And without doubt, there was a heavy load on Yeshua to be what he had become. He could not remember if he had desired it or if he had been invited to do it. I think the later was probably...
Yeah, I was going to say a little both, maybe. I don't know.
But till the end, he would carry his enormous responsibility. Yeah? So on that night, Yeshua is begging the Eternal, with whom he had sealed the pact, to let him be a human being for a day, just a day. But the night remained silent.
Yeah.
And actually the response came through the hand of Miriam, lodging itself in Yeshua's hand.
Oh, yeah, a little signal.
Yeah. So the hand of Miriam was telling the power of the incarnation, the jumping board of the flesh in its destruction as well as its tender beauty. So this is where we stopped the teachings per se. And so we covered the archons, the nature of Yahweh, what it is. We saw the religion, and again, the religion comes from the Latin religare, which means to bind. Okay. So
boy, I didn't know that.
Yes,
but boy,
to bind.
that's fitting. It's
Yes.
very fitting.
And then we talked about Moses, we didn't get into a lot of details, but obviously the story that has been told about Moses,
Right.
is not what happened.
Right.
And Yeshua knows that perfectly because Moses is also a member of the Shambhala community and that just went on the planet Earth before Yeshua.
Okay.
Yeah, 1,000 or 1,500 years before Yeshua, yeah. So now we're going to move to the second part of our presentation, which will be a lot lighter, but also very interesting. Yeah. So in the morning, the name of Gennesareth is floating in Yeshua's mind. You know?
It's just a word just came to his head. Yeah.
And it's a location.
Yeah.
It's actually
Okay.
a little village located between Nahum and Migdal, and people can see it on the map. So he stood up, he covered Miriam with his wool coat, and he's trying to revive the fire while thinking about Gennesareth. Why do I have to go to Gennesareth? So, and he's looking at the group of people, and Shlomit and Yakuba still sleeping, cuddled against each other under a tree, There was also Simon and his wife, Tade, Betsabe, Thomas, and Eleazar, who is John, right? And John was actually observing Miriam combing her hair under a veil. So John is the closest of all the disciples to Miriam, the mother of Yeshua. Yeah, I mean, he considered her as his mother. And Yeshua is wondering why Gennesareth again. And following a breathing technique he learned in the Himalayas, and which is not described in the book, unfortunately, the dreams comes back perfectly clean in his mind. Perfectly clear.
Right.
Clear. Yeah. So he knows exactly why he has to go there, and he knows all the details that he remembers in the dream. And so apparently a woman named Tsipporah had lost Nahum, her husband, 15 years her elder. So Tsipporah had not prepared herself for that, and Yeshua saw her in pain and tearing her clothes, as is customary in that case. So the group of small disciples, has a quick breakfast, bread dipped in honey. That's what they had for breakfast. And Yeshua decides to take with him Miriam, Shlomit, Yakuba, and Miriam, his mother. And at the last minute, he crosses the gaze of Eleazar and enrolls him as well.
Come on.
So he's only taking women because he knows that he's going to visit a woman who just turned widow.
Right.
Yeah. And he tells Eleazar, come with us. And Eleazar, me? Are you sure?
I don't know if I want to do this.
Yes, you come. And they finally arrive in Gennesareth, and find the home of Tsipporah. And in front of the house, there are about 50 people, mostly women wearing black, their faces under a veil. Some are crying very loudly, while others are reciting psalms while beating their chest. So you have to picture that, right? On the ground,
the criers for the funeral.
Yes.
Yeah.
On the ground, a stretcher was waiting to take the defunct to his sepulture. So a man comes to Yeshua and he goes, is it you, Rabbi? We did not know where to find you. And it was my brother, Nahum. Everybody says you can do ... You can do something.
Like revive them.
And Yeshua stops him.
Yeah.
Doesn't say anything more. Take me to Tsipporah and Nahum. And by doing this, Yeshua is going against the scriptures. Because the scriptures are saying that you should never, ever pronounce the name of a deceased person.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh.
So it is not allowed to say Nahum when Nahum just died.
Okay.
But Yeshua is just ignoring those scriptures, and saying it. So Yeshua is led inside, and notice that how beautiful and rich the house is, And Nahum was actually working with metals, and he had made a lot of money with the Romans in Tiberias. So he probably was doing some kind of metal work for them.
Right. Swords.
Yeah, maybe swords or who knows what.
Helmets, whatever.
And the smell inside the house is of myrrh and aloes, And Yeshua likes this fragrance. For him, it is not synonymous of death, as it is in Palestine,
Right.
but of voyage, or journey. So Nahum was laying on the tiles. He was wrapped in a shroud, completely, His body was not visible, and the feet were towards the door. This is how it is supposed to be. And next to him were 3 prostrated women repeating prayers. And as soon as Tsipporah sees the rabbi, she jumps on her feet extremely quick, extremely fast, Rabbi, Rabbi, Are you the rabbi, Yeshua? Is it you? And she's not even waiting for an answer. She starts a long complaint centered around her person. And Yeshua forces her to shut up and he takes her away from the deceased body.
Yeah.
You know.
It's like, leave the guy in peace.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
And Eleazar and Yakuba are just outraged by the behavior of Tsipporah, you know. Mm-hmm. And Yeshua tells her, sit down against that wall. And you can clearly see that her heart is full of anxiety and grief, with actually very, very little sorrow in it. Okay? And then she goes, Rabbi, what will happen with me? My husband left me. Why did he do that?
Oh, jeez.
It was last night. He was not so sick. What am I going to do with my life? Tell me. Why is the Eternal punishing me so much while leaving me alone? I did not do anything bad. So at that point, seeing that, Miriam, the mother of Yeshua, tries to take her hands and calm her, but she refuses the offer. And she takes her hand back. And she continues, because she only cares about the rabbi. And she was requesting his help, And actually, Yeshua was thinking and preparing the kind of help Tsipporah was really needing.
Oh boy, not the one she wants.
No. And the noise outside and the crying was deafening, literally.
My gosh.
Yeah. And Eleazar is offering to silence them and go outside and say, and Yeshua tells Eleazar, it is useless. Nobody can understand what has not been taught to them. Right. They have been programmed to be this way. Mm-hmm. So you won't be able to change them. So Tsipporah jumps to Yeshua's knees, Rabbi, everybody knows what you did in a village. Everybody, bring back my husband. I'm begging you. Have mercy for me. You know how to speak to the Eternal. Ask him for me.
Oh boy.
And at that point, Yeshua is going to grab Tsipporah's feet and he starts massaging them, for a long time. And she becomes silent. He does that because there is a connection between the feet and the heart.
Oh, okay.
So by massaging and relaxing the feet, you're also affecting the heart and the emotions, And Tsipporah asks, what are you doing to me, Rabbi? And Yeshua says, I am speaking to your soul. And she goes, will I die? And he looks her straight in the eyes and he says, to die, you have first to be alive.
Oh boy.
So Tsipporah at that point,
Are you insulting me?
receiving that slap, she starts crying real tears. Yeah. And Yeshua asks her, what is crying in you, Tsipporah? And she goes on, what will I do, Rabbi, if you do not bring him back to me? And Yeshua says, do, and why not start to be yourself? Because what you are showing at this moment is not you. It is just an image. And Yeshua is looking at the image and he sees the true personality of Tsipporah. Is basically a woman who was dominating her husband, but was completely depending on him at the same time, infinitely.
Oh my gosh.
For all the needs of life. Mm-hmm. She had loved him, of course. However, she loved him more like someone likes their mule or their horse. She was being taken care of. So while massaging her feet, Yeshua asks, what is crying in you, Tsipporah? You did not answer me. You cannot tell me, right? But I can find the words that are not coming out of you, woman. And I can find them because, in fact, they are very simple. It is not your heart which is crying. It is the heart of a young girl, a child, who has always decided everything around herself. Losing what she was controlling, she lost her hand, the one that was controlling everything. And while losing her hand, she lost her footing. This is why I came to you, Tsipporah, to root you into a reality that you have always avoided. So at this point, Tsipporah stops crying, but still do not accept these explanations and still denies them. And Yeshua continues, listen, where do you think is your husband at this moment? Here, near us, between the worlds. And what do you think he has been listening to since yesterday when he left? I'm going to tell you, he has been hearing the woman he loved cry on herself to the point that she became angry towards him.
Him, yeah, like, how dare you leave me?
He was looking for love. He could not find it. He's only getting laments and anger in his heart. Thus, Tsipporah, stand up, stop crying, and speak to Nahum. And she goes, what? You are pronouncing his name? And Yeshua goes, and why would not I do it? And why would you not do it too? And she goes, we must not, Rabbi. You know it. And he goes, who decided that? I don't know. It is always like that.
I don't know who said it, but I got to do this.
Yes, exactly. So Yeshua is smiling, He does not want to reflect to Tsipporah an image where egotism is mixed with ignorance and absurdity.
Because nobody questions anything. They just go along.
Exactly.
Even if it doesn't make sense. Yeah.
But he wanted to shake her and place her soul face to face with Nahum, And he tells her, come with me now. Let's go back near your husband because you are going to speak to him. Outside, the lamentations and crying are not stopping. I mean, it is deafening. So at that point, Yeshua is going to use some magic. He's going to ask his father for some silence and peace. And the way it comes,
this should be interesting.
thunder is erupting.
Oh, okay, perfect.
And a torrential rain is starting to pour down.
That'll get everybody out.
The noise of the raindrops, was so much nicer than the artificial and convenience-based fake sorrow that they were hearing outside. So inside, they're going to wait for the rain to slow down. And while waiting, a little cat comes near the group and his gaze stops in one corner of the ceiling. So the cat is looking at the corner of the ceiling.
Cats can see things.
And Nahum was there, like a fog with two tired eyes. Probably tired of
It's like, I need a break.
praying.
Yeah.
And Yeshua tells Tsipporah, talk to him now. He will hear you. Speak inside you in the secret of you. Only you can find the words that will bring peace and help him cross the gate. And so,
because he's probably hanging on there because she's saying, I can't live without you. So now he's going to become stuck here.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Right.
This is why we have to let them go.
Right.
So Yeshua is remaining silent, while Tsipporah tries to find some poor words to share with her husband, And when the group leave, finally, the street is deserted, thanks God, And the thunder was going away, So Tsipporah grabs Yeshua's robe one last time. You're still not going to bring him back, Rabbi?
Oh, jeez. She missed the point.
Yeshua takes her in his arms, And he said to her, when the journey is over, little sister, it is over. I'm telling you, where Nahum goes, he's more alive than you are here. Leave him the chance to breathe a different air. Today, love visited you. And if you do not offer it back, it will evaporate. So Yeshua and his group are walking to the pier where he knew a boat would take them back to Capernaum, And Miriam asked him, do you think this woman heard you, Rabboni? And Yeshua says something interesting. He says, she heard me, you can be sure, but not for today. For tomorrow, for 2 times 1,000 years.
Oh, jeez.
And again he goes, it is not so far away. Just a few births and deaths to cross.
Oh, okay.
But somehow, maybe that woman is alive today.
Yeah.
Who knows? Like most of us.
I know. Yeah. That was some really good teachings there.
Yes, that was very deep, So again, I invite our audience to think about it.
Yeah. If you have any questions or, I know it's a little bit outside of the box for a lot of people.
Yes, and it's definitely in conflict with whatever you have been told.
And
through scripture.
This might not be your truth, right? I mean, not everybody's gonna resonate with that, but it's just something different to think about.
Yeah.
Right?
But it is what the words of Yeshua according to the Akashic records.
Right. Right. And again, that's from the Akashic records, so people can believe what they want to believe.
Yeah.
But for me personally, it just resonates so well. So I guess that's why we're doing this.
Exactly.
Right? Because it resonates very well for you too.
It does,
so
yeah.
anyway, just giving a different perspective and different viewpoint. So
Thank you for your help.
of course. Well, thank you so much. And please like and subscribe.
And leave comments and questions.
Comments. Yeah. We love to get comments. So please do that. Thank you for tuning in.